Hi, I'm Jack Quicksilver. I'm a trans-masculine adult content creator, and I am here to answer your questions about bottom growth. Please check out the other videos in this series if you're curious about this topic, but you're more than welcome to jump in on this one right now. Today's questions have a decidedly sex education theme. They are very practical questions submitted by my audience about the whys and hows of sexual functioning on masculinizing HRT. Most of us have not had anything close to a comprehensive education on the topics of sex, and I'm sure very, very few and maybe none of us have had such with transgender specific topics covered. So my goal here is to hopefully provide some valuable information without judgment or shame. I believe that adults deserve to know about and learn about our bodies, and that we all deserve healthy relationships with our bodies and with our sexualities. And I hope that by making these videos, I can normalize having these discussions. In terms of qualifications, I've been known to say that I am just some guy, but I do think maybe it's time for me to put the self-deprecating jokes behind me. I hold a bachelor's of science in an unrelated field, but I am college educated, and I'm generally and always have been and continue to be very interested in the world, and I am capable of and enjoy using a scientific framework to satisfy my curiosity where appropriate. I also value a humanistic, holistic approach when it comes to understanding people. I'm also a sex worker, specifically a content creator, and my own career has spanned my own medical transition, so I have engaged with the transgender experience and my own sexuality through my work and through being perceived while doing so, because I'm a visual artist. All of this is to say that I am indeed just some guy, but I am also a porn star with a bachelor's degree who lives and works with sexuality and gender, and I also just read a lot. I never want to present myself as a medical expert. I just want to share information. Okay, that's enough about me. Let's get to your questions. I picked a great one for us to start with today. Is it really possible to penetrate someone if you have big enough bottom growth? What would it feel like? Buddy, yes. Yes, it is possible. I have done it and I have seen it. Now, whether or not it is possible for any one couple is going to be dependent on bottom growth length, body types, and flexibility. When it comes to penetration, obviously, longer growth is going to be easier. People who are a heavier weight may experience more challenge with penetration because of the extra cushioning will reduce functional length as well as access, but on the other hand, people who are more flexible will have an easier time because they'll be able to move their legs and hips in ways that overcome challenges posed by length and body type. So no matter your size, do your mobility, yoga, Pilates, whatever it is that speaks to you to get your body supple. So the most common positions I have seen for penetration with bottom growth are missionary, where the bottom's legs are spread wide, standing bent over, dependent on height, of course, or with one partner lying down with one leg up and the other partner straddling their leg to thrust from that position. This latter position is personally my favorite because it gives both parties wiggle room to get in the right position. As a receiving partner, I think it feels amazing. It is more of an external or close to the entrance stimulation, obviously, but it feels incredibly intimate. I love it. As the giving partner, it is mind-blowing. The first time I did it, I cried because it was overwhelming. It was not something I had expected to feel. It was so intimate and very emotional. And it continues to feel very emotional in some ways to me. So my verdict is it is worth trying if you can. This person asked, sometimes I have very clear O's, but at other times I can't really tell if I came or not. Is this normal? Totally normal. I have experienced this as well, though for me it tends to be linked to factors like SSRIs or psych medications, or overstimulation or failed edging. The last one is the most common reason. And what that will feel like is that suddenly I will feel the after peak feeling of the orgasm without the orgasm itself. So it's suddenly like, oh, I can't go anymore, which is a bummer, but again, it is totally normal and it is harmless. It just happens sometimes. This person asked, what can you use if you can't access lube after T dries you out? So, okay, there's actually two questions here that I want to address. The first is lube. I hope that you can get access to some proper pH balanced sugar-free lube in the future, because it is a game changer. It is an essential item to me, and it is not expensive. However, I understand that that cannot always happen for everyone. So my first suggestion is to try and find a sexual wellness clinic near you, whether it is a Planned Parenthood, a student outreach center, a gay community center. Often these organizations will have free lube in like pre-wrapped little packages about the same size and shape as a condom wrapper, and this will tide you over until you can buy your own. Do not be afraid of or ashamed for asking for free samples like this. That is what they exist for. Let's say there's no clinic, you're broke, and you need lube. So one low-cost alternative is to use a high-quality cooking oil like olive oil or extra virgin coconut oil. However, be aware many people are allergic to these, so always test it on your skin before using it on a mucous membrane. You should also be aware that oils and oil-based lubricants can degrade condoms, meaning that if you're using condoms to prevent pregnancy or to protect against STIs, the oil-based lube or oil can reduce or even nullify those effects. So, something to be aware of. It is not a fail-safe or perfect solution. The best solution would be to get a water-based lube that works for you, but you can use that in a pinch. Please, please, please do not use lotion, baby oil, which is mineral oil, Vaseline, soap, butter, or anything containing alcohol in a vagina, and probably not in an anus either. None of these products are safe as lubricants. They could cause infections and in some cases even poisoning. So please, 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 baby your holes. Be careful with them. Okay, now I want to address this bit about teeth drying you out, because what you're describing is actually a symptom of vaginal atrophy, which sounds a little scary, but it's super common. In cisgender women, this is a symptom of menopause, and it is functionally the same condition as in transmasc people because vaginal atrophy occurs when the sex organs do not receive estrogen. In cisgender women, that occurs in menopause naturally, and in transmasculine people, that occurs when exogenous testosterone, so your T-shot or your gel application, suppresses estrogen production. Symptoms of atrophy can include dryness, itching, pain with sex, cramps, recurring infections, and loss of lubrication. But fear not, treatment is super simple. Ask your doctor for topical estrogen treatment. I personally was struggling with recurring urinary tract infections. They were happening quarterly. I was so miserable. I had multiple ones on vacations and had to navigate getting antibiotics while on vacation. It was so painful. And it turns out, I learned from a friend that atrophy can affect not only the vaginal tissues, but also the entire urogenital system. So that means your urinary tract, your uterus, the vaginal canal. These all can be affected by atrophy. My doctor prescribed me these like 1 inch long, they're very small, vaginal suppositories for estrogen. I insert one twice a week, and my kitty has never felt better. I haven't had a UTI in a year, and I no longer have pain after sex. So, of course, you should always use lube during sex, in my opinion. I think it just adds a lot of benefits, but also you don't have to suffer with symptoms of atrophy. The topical estrogen will not affect your transition, and it will improve your health. So please bring it up with your doctor if you're experiencing vaginal atrophy symptoms. Okay, let's get back to the fun stuff. This person asked, how do I jack off now that my clit is like this? Spoken like a true brother in need. I, unfortunately, cannot answer this for you. Getting off is a beautiful individual journey of self-exploration. You need to woo yourself, you need to experiment, and you need to be patient. Go watch what other people do and try it. Spend a few hours one evening each week just with yourself, with low expectations, and pursuing pleasure and pursuing what feels good for you. Orgasms are awesome, but they're just one part of the story. People often describe medical transition as second puberty, and I think this is one of the cases where it's extremely true. Your body is changing, and your relationship with your body must change as well. You just now have the benefit of being an adult who can approach this change with intention and with the wisdom that it will all pass eventually, and you will become who you're meant to be. You will grow into your new self and your new relationship with your body. So just have fun. Enjoy it. It's a special time. All right, guys. Thanks for watching today's episode of All About Bottom Growth. If you found this video helpful or interesting, please hit the like button, subscribe, send it to a friend. Oh, and feel free to drop more questions in the comments. I'll catch you soon.